if you've forgotten about the Arizona audit of Maricopa County's vote in the 2020 election, you can be forgiven. At times, it seems like the fraudits backers have forgotten about this too. Arizona State Senate Republicans launched the process this spring as a response to false claims of election fraud spread by several of themselves, as well as former squatter Donald Trump. The Senate hired the non credible Cyber Ninjas, a firm that's run by a Stop the Steal Klan rally backer that has repeatedly declined to offer any evidence that it is qualified for the job because he's not. The process was originally expected to conclude by May 14th, but this was a hard deadline because the Coliseum rented for the count was due to hold another event, but the count missed that deadline, and the process resumed later on in May. Um, May turned into June, and Donald Trump was reportedly telling people that he expected to be reinstated as squatter in August, which doesn't work that way. But once the audit proved that fraud had tainted the election results, which it didn't, never mind that there remains no evidence of widespread fraud at all, and that there's no mechanism for a former squatter to be reinstated mid-term. By July, the date was the due date was mid-August. Now August has gone and passed, and Trump has not been reinstated, and neither has the public seen the results of the audit because there's no fraud. In fact, it's been hard for the public to have any sense of what's going on at all. I spent several days this week trying to get answers from several of the principals and couldn't get any closer to a fucking answer. Finally, on Thursday, a spokesperson for Arizona Senate Republicans said the findings of the audit would be released in a public hearing on September 24th. That would be 5 months after the audit began, nearly 11 months after the election, and 4 months after the initial scheduled completion date. And who the fuck knows if they even meet the new deadline. The official said late last month that the audit was supposed to be completed by now, but on August 23rd, Arizona Senate President Karen Fann said that the final report was delayed because members of the non-credible Cyber Ninjas team had gotten COVID-19. Nonetheless, Fann said that she expected the state senate to begin reviewing a partial report 2 days later, but that never fucking happened. The Arizona Mirror had reported later that week that no report, partial or not, had actually been fucking delivered at all. A spokesperson for the audit, Randy Poland, had said yesterday that the reports have not yet been delivered to the state senate. And this kind of disorganization has been typical for the Arizona fraud, which was troubled from its inception. Election security experts bristle at the very use of audit, noting that the term has a specific meaning in both industry parlance and state law. One this exercise doesn't match. In addition to the non-credible Cyber Ninja CEO Doug Logan's prejudice on the result, Cyber Ninjas had no experience running an operation of this size, and they have no credibility at all. That became clear as the audit missed deadlines, and outside observers noted not only serious flaws in how the audit was being conducted, but it also changes in the procedure on the fly, which undermined the reliability of the count. The audit is being funded largely by private money, which keeps taxpayers off the hook, but also requires questions. But it also raises questions of influence and farms out a governmental function to conservative donors. At times, the officials have been said to be going beyond looking at ballots to pursue bizarre conspiracy theories. Like reviewing whether bamboo threads were on ballots, which they weren't, and not to claim that boxes of ballots had been flown in from China, which they weren't. Ken Bennett, the Senate's liaison to the fraud, briefly announced that he was resigning his post before reversing himself. The non-credible Cyber Ninjas has implied that it has found discrepancies in its work. Yeah, bullshit. But the company has not made public what they are and how large they are. But Maricopa County's elected leadership, which is Republican dominated, has repeatedly refuted any sloppy claims made by the auditors. The U.S. Department of Justice and Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs have both logged numerous objections to the audit, but so have Republican election officials from other states. The audit has even taken friendly fire. State Senator Michelle Ugenti Rita, a Republican who supported the exercise at the start, said in July that she has now changed her fucking mind. Sadly, it's now become clear that the audit has been botched The total lack of competence by FAN over the last 5 months has deprived the voters of Arizona of a comprehensive accounting of the 2020 election. This is inexcusable, but it shows what can happen when Republicans do not take election integrity deadly serious. The only real information to engage has been about the procedures for the fraudit and not its results, and those have come thanks to the court decisions, as judges rule that the Senate or cyber ninjas must turn over information about its procedures. On Wednesday, FAN instructed cyber ninjas to release records after the Senate lost a case in the Arizona Supreme Court over withholding them. Yet, the actual report remains missing in action. Perhaps it's not such a bad thing. The process has been so flawed that the results are practically meaningless. In fact, the temptation would be to write the whole thing off as a slapstick. If the stakes weren't so fucking high, as Trump's claims about reinstatement show, the Arizona audit is the bleeding edge of Republicans' efforts to cast doubt on the American system of elections as a fucking whole. And meanwhile, several other states have undertaken their own review of the 2020 result. Despite no evidence of serious fraud that would have affected the result there anyway, in Pennsylvania, legislators authorized a subpoena that appears to violate state law. County clerks in Wisconsin have been baffled by requests from an investigator hired by the Speaker of the State Assembly. In many cases, officials have explicitly said that they were inspired by what's happening in Maricopa County, but that seems to include pointing the inefficacy and chaos that has characterized Arizona's audit. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel RBW King, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening.